The political row between the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, and the Rivers State Governor, Siminalayi Fubara, has taken a new turn. Now, some governors of the All Progressives Congress have rallied behind the embattled Fubara to ensure his 2027 re-election bid is materialized against his predecessor's plan. This move, reports says, has reignited the hostilities between Wike and Rivers State Governor. Trouble reportedly started when forces loyal to Wike attempted to back the erstwhile National Secretary of the People's Democratic Party, Samuel Anyanwu, as the next governor of Imo State without consulting Governor Hope Uzodimma. Meanwhile, the APC National Secretary, Ajibola, Basiru, and Wike on Monday traded words over Rivers politics and the minister's insistence that he would not support Fubara for a second term. Meanwhile, the People's Democratic Party says the All Progressives Congress has no right to criticize Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, for his conduct in Rivers State. The PDP National Publicity Secretary, Ini Ememobong, made the comment in Abuja while responding to a public exchange between Wike and APC National Secretary Senator Ajibola Basiru. The PDP argued the APC previously indulged Wike for political benefits, but now complains after the situation turned politically difficult, adding that APC must deal with its own choices and consequences. The party also noted that Wike is no longer a member, saying the APC should know this and manage its own political fallout. For this conversation, let's now turn to a lawyer and political analyst. Rivers Oshoma joins us now. Thank you very much, Mr. Oshoma, for joining us. It's always a pleasure to have you on tonight. Now, Mr. Oshoma, it's become a very interesting situation when it comes to Rivers State, and not just Rivers State, but including the FCT minister. So now it's a federal thing. Rivers today appears less like a competitive democracy and more like a political territory controlled by one dominant network, let's face it, that cuts across party lines. So the question is, has Wike effectively captured the democratic space in Rivers? And if so, can elections in the state still be described as genuinely competitive?
Thank you, Mazino. And if Wike had captured the democratic space in Rivers State, he would not be complaining. He would not be crying agreement is agreement everywhere and going around as if the campaign has, the ban on campaign has been lifted, you know, to permit me to use that phrase. It is obvious that with the way things are, Wike is almost like a drowning man politically in Rivers State. And I say that as advisedly because I don't think he expected that Fubara was going to get the kind of support that he is getting in APC. The moment when Fubara was with him in PDP, he could do and undo. He could deny Fubara the ticket in PDP because he was the lord of the manor in PDP. But now his supporters joined the APC, and Fubara has also joined the APC after visiting Mr. President. So Fubara now is in a different party. Wike can be the leader in a faction of the PDP. The APC has endorsed Fubara as their leader in Rivers State. APC, also the national secretary of the APC, has also said that Wike not being a member of the APC cannot dictate what should happen in APC. And if Wike is not careful, we saw this play out before. You remember in Edo State during the administration of Godwin Obaseki, Oshomole was even a party chairman, party national chairman. And, you know, he attempted to deny Godwin Obaseki the ticket of the APC. Obaseki jumped ship, and Obaseki orchestrated his removal as the national chairman the moment he was suspended, you know, through a process that later was discovered to be kangaroo, you know, from his word. So now Fubara is in a different party, Wike is in a different party. Wike can only talk about his party. It is the fact that he has he's serving in the government of the APC does not make him a member of the APC stricto sensu, because he's not a member. So he really will not be able to determine what happened in Rivers State's APC. He has his supporters the same way Fubara has his own supporters. So it will be difficult for you to say that Wike has captured this political space of Rivers State. If he has captured the political space, he will not be crying foul. He will not be shouting agreement is agreement. You saw Tinubu, Ambode also. Ambode's second term, you didn't see Tinubu shout everywhere agreement is agreement or hold rallies everywhere. But the primaries at the end of the day determine who truly would have a second term. But that's not the case with Rivers. That's why I think Wike is shouting agreement is agreement and they're holding rallies everywhere. He's almost like a drowning man now. And if care is not taken, he certainly is going to be, Fubara will soon be his godfather.
You call him a drowning man. I'm going to ask you a question regarding that, but let's talk about loyalty. We see a situation where institutional loyalty is being replaced by personal loyalty and allegiances. So now we see local government structures, party organs, and even state institutions populated by individuals whose primary allegiance seems to be to one man, and that's Wike, rather than to law or party. So what are the dangers? What are the dangers of replacing institutional loyalty with personal loyalty in a state political architecture like we see happening in Rivers State currently?
Yeah, we have. We've always seen, this thing play out in every state where, a governor. The moment somebody becomes a governor, the entire institution, kowtow to the whims and caprices of the governor. It is not just under Wike. If you remember, when Peter Odili was governor in Rivers State, the moment Odili left, Amechi came, and Amechi described it that there was a new cook in the kitchen. And so the former institution, the former governor should remember that being a new cook in the kitchen, he can only advise when he's called to advise. So in this case, you had a godfather who wants to be larger than life, who wants to still control, the levers of power. And that's not easy for him now, even though, like I said, he has his people in APC and PDP. But those people in APC will still also take further instructions from the party. If the party at the national level does not endorse what the APC members will do at the state level, certainly, they can't take such steps. Certainly, they will still have to listen to a very large extent to the voices of the president at the national level and what the party will say. Unlike when everybody was with Wike in PDP. But we can't run away from the fact that certainly you're going to have people who would have their loyalty to certain individuals because they were helped to such political positions by those individuals. Until we have a process where the elections are very transparent and you can go to the elections and people will elect you without having to have a godfather who will manipulate the process for you to be in office, we are certainly going to consistently have loyalty to individuals. But when those individuals now want to, live a larger than life, like we see in Rivers State, certainly that loyalty will shift somehow. And then the funny part of it is that they begin to pretend to want to build institutions like you see Fubara. The sympathy that Fubara is getting, really, it's not because it's any better than Wike. It's just the fact that the enemy of my enemy is my friend. That's basically what's happening here. And the fact that Wike is biting more than he can chew, creating enemies for himself. And people, Nigerians generally, would not want somebody, to remain a godfather for long. You saw the way Oshiomhole was able to displace Tony Aneni of blessed memory in Edo State. The same way somebody escaped and displaced Oshiomhole at the moment he wanted to play the role of a godfather. So that's basically what is happening here now. You are always going to have those issues of somebody, loyalty to individuals, as long as our elections are not transparent.
Well, Liberos, you call Wike a drowning man, but Wike has certain powers that most other political personalities do not. You saw him in the last election actually influence across party lines. So rather than strengthening democracy, Wike's cross-party maneuvering appears to actually blur opposition lines and weaken alternative leaderships. Would you describe his cross-party influence as genius or as deliberate sabotage? And I say that very intentionally, deliberate sabotage of healthy party competitions. Is he a mole?
What I see here, Wike, I can't call him a mole. I can't say he's ingenious. You saw the last election in 2023, like I talked, we're talking about transparent election. We all know what happened in Rivers State. He was a bride because certainly all the political gladiators certainly wanted, to cut governors. So he was one of such governors. Look at the numbers. What was the vote for the APC in Rivers State as compared to the vote of the APC in Oyo State? For example, in Rivers State, APC had about 227,000 votes compared to Oyo, where they got about 400 and something thousand votes. So for the APC, until date, the Labour Party had consistently argued that those votes were manipulated in favor of the APC by Wike because he was a governor. So if he had such powers as a governor, now he's no longer the governor, and he's holding office at the pleasure of Mr. President. He's a minister. The moment Wike is removed as a minister today, I can tell you, this ingenuity or these powers that you think he has will just fizzle out, and they will die a natural death because the powers that he's controlling is because he's still in government at the center. The moment you remove Wike from the government at the center, out of those powers will fizzle away, and then the governor who has, who holds the power and the budget of the state would be able to run riot around him, just the same way he was able to run riot around the previous governors that came after him. Okay. The powers that he had today is because he's a minister under the presidency, and he had consistently remained in his party. He didn't jump ship. So, and he's playing a very key role for the government in the party or in the opposition, that he belongs to. So after successfully, helping others to destroy the opposition party, and then he's not in APC. The opposition cannot compete with the government. He's stranded, and then he needs Rivers State. And if the government at the center does not help him to get Rivers State, he on his own cannot get Rivers State.
All right. Well, Liberal Social,
that's why I said it's not ingenious.
Yeah, I get you now. I had one more question, but I have run out of time with you on this session here. But thank you very much for giving us your expert opinion regarding the situation with Wike, Rivers State, and federal power. Thank you.
My pleasure.
You're welcome.